Happy first of the month. That's right, it's June 1st, 2023. Let's get it. In today's show, Bitcoin last price dip before a 30,000 breakout. I'll be breaking this down for you. And quoting Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is the most secure financial asset in the world. And quoting Max Kaiser, this is true. Even if the internet goes down, unlike every other form of property, only Bitcoin remains unconfiscatable in the event of a worldwide power outage and chaos. Also in today's show, Bitcoin mining difficulty exceeds 50 trillion for the first time. That's right. Also, Tether, USDT market cap breaks all-time high, and Binance CEO points at regulatory caps. We'll also be discussing Crypto.com joining the ranks of licensed payment institutions in Singapore. That's right, as mass adoption continues worldwide outside the United States. We'll also be discussing the Winklevoss twins' crypto exchange Gemini to seek UAE crypto license. Also, this is just in, Prime Minister of Ireland met with the Gemini founders to discuss the potential of Bitcoin and crypto. We'll also be discussing Binance CEO CZ predicts a bull run as China CCTV broadcasts crypto coverage, and quoting CZ from this throwback tweet, Bitcoin is probably going to do another 5 to 10x this year alone. I will put it somewhere at around like $150,000 to $400,000 ish in terms of the Bitcoin price, and the other crypto assets probably going to rise more or less with BTC. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just tuning in. This is pod episode number 1299. And yes, today is the first of the month, June 1st, 2023. I'm your host, JV, and we have lots to cover. As you can see, we have the crypto market pumping back in the green once again. Bitcoin recovered to 27,000, up 0.5% for the day. We have Ether up 1%, trading just under $1,900. One of the top gainers is Litecoin, up 7.5%, trading above 95 bucks. As we all know, the Litecoin halving is around the corner. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap is sitting above $1.13 trillion with 29 billion in volume at the past 24 hours, and Bitcoin dominance is 46.1% with the Ether dominance at 19.8%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, you can see we have Pulse X up 7%, XDC up 9%, Litecoin up 7.5%, and Pepe up 7.5%. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, one of my favorite indicators, shows we're currently rated a 52 neutral, yesterday a 51, last week a 51, and last month a 55 in greed. So there you have it. And welcome to everyone just tuning into today's live stream. Now we're going to dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts and what's popping. And welcome to everyone just tuning in. Happy first of the month. Bitcoin returned to a key focal point on June 1st as the monthly close delivered a disappointment. Here you're looking at the Bitcoin one-day candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView confirmed lackluster end to May for Bitcoin, which slid below 27,000. Bitcoin erased its entire uptick seen over the weekend, coming full circle to act in a familiar range on the day. This centered on the area immediately below 27,000, with Bitcoin frequently visiting it since the middle of April, as you can see here in the CME Bitcoin futures 1-hour candle chart. And in doing so, Bitcoin filled a gap in the CME futures outstanding since the weekend trip higher. Quoting Jelly here, when the gaps fill, the bottom is usually near, and an additional post argued that the Bitcoin price action would soon break out to 30,000, completing a falling wedge construction with waning volatility, as analyst Jelly outlines here alongside this chart, showing us we're heading back to $30,000. Now also, we have some other bullishness in the market as well. Bitcoin mining difficulty also just recently reached an all-time high, and quoting Dan Crypto Trades, confluence at 26,750 region with the CME gap, as well as the golden pocket on the Fibonacci retracement. We see how the price reacts when and if it gets there. And he also wrote, currently not in the place for me to consider any trades. Now quoting trader and analyst Sku, he says, gap filled now. Weak market, though, to be bullish would be strength above 27.4 and 27.2, which are the current index exchanges. Now, Bitcoin's price finished May down 7%. Data from monitoring resource CoinGlass shows, showing something of an average performance of a highly varied month. The largest crypto is 5.5% lower in quarter two, contrasting quarter one gains of over 70%. And analyzing multiple time frames, we have decent trader saw little reason to expect an abrupt trend change yet, warning of a moderately bearish or declining signals on its proprietary trading instruments. It flagged downside support levels tied to the key moving averages. These are currently sitting at 26,250, 26, 23 for the 200-week, 20-week, and 200-day moving averages, respectively. And liquidity-wise, Bitcoin is still straddling. Downside, it's currently protected by the 200-week moving average. And upside, all meaningful liquidity is above 30,000, reiterating findings from co-founder Philip Swift the day prior. Shout out to Philip Swift, and quoting the Giga Chad himself, Bitcoin is the most secure financial asset in the world, says Michael Saylor. And Max reminds us this is true even if the internet goes down. Unlike every other form of property, only Bitcoin remains unconfiscatable in the event of a worldwide power outage and chaos. That's right, because there's these mesh nets where you could ultimately use the internet or use the Bitcoin blockchain without even having access to the internet, which steps up technology to the next level. And again, welcome to everyone tuning in. Now let's discuss the Bitcoin mining difficulty reaching yet another all-time high. And this is very bullish when you have the fundamentals so strong like they are right now. Bitcoin's price is still stuck in a narrow range. As we covered, we're currently just above 27,000. And according to data from BTC.com, the mining difficulty surged this week to 50.68 trillion, setting a fresh all-time high. Let's go. The latest difficulty adjustment occurred at block height 792,288, which added 3.4% on May 31st. This is the first time in Bitcoin history recording a difficulty level above the 50 trillion mark. So congrats as we achieved this massive milestone, and further validating the miner conviction and competition in the network, as we all know, is the hash rate, which is hovering near its all-time highs as well at 400 exahashes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I think it's hashes per second. That's right. Now, Foundry, US-led pack contributing the most hash rate with a market share of 28.9%. And next was Antpool with 22.6%, followed by FT Pool with a commanding 14.1% dominance. And as Max Kaiser commonly shares, the hash rate is a lagging indicator to the Bitcoin price as well as the difficulty. So these are very bullish signs for the King Crypto. The surge is a welcome respite for the Bitcoin miners after suffering tremendously due to the market turmoil we witnessed last year. And the recent ordinals craze, for instance, helped the miners of the network by pushing the transaction fees. Naturally, the miners are benefiting tremendously from the high fees in the blockchain. And in fact, the daily revenue hit a 5-year high last month in what was touted to be a rare event. And owing to Ordinal's popularity, miners are now increasingly deploying more mining machines, thereby boosting the network's computing power. Meanwhile, the Bitcoin mining related stocks in the US recorded gains this week as sleepy Joe Biden agreed to scrap the planned 30% tax on electricity used by the companies. Well, that's great news. At least we got something in the positive coming from sleepy Joe. I think they know they can't oppose that 30% tax because it would move adoption all outside the United States. Why would you want to be mining Bitcoin in the United States if you had to pay a 30% Bitcoin mining tax? Would make absolutely no sense. So it's good to hear they ultimately threw that out. So that's good. Now let's discuss Tether USDT hitting yet another all-time high as far as their market cap. Tether has been very bullish thus far this year. Let's break it down. The Tether stablecoin hit another all-time high market cap of over now $83 billion as its market dominance continues to soar. The new all-time high comes in a year when other stablecoin issuers struggle to stay afloat due to regulatory woes. The same was pointed out by crypto exchange Binance CEO CZ. And right here you can see this chart showing the USDT market cap going parabolic. In a tweet, CZ drew attention to the Binance USD, which is a Binance branded stablecoin issued by Paxos. The Binance CEO said BUSD is a fully regulated stablecoin capped by the New York Department of Financial Services at $23 billion and currently sits at $5 billion market cap. And since then, USDT has seen tremendous growth. Quoting CZ here, BUSD, a fully regulated stablecoin, was capped with no new minting by the NYDFs at $23 billion, but now at a $5 billion market cap. And since then, USD has seen tremendous growth. Talking about the breaking news coming from Tether, surpassing an $83 billion market cap. And in February, the NYDFS ordered Paxos to stop any new issuance of BUSD, citing violations of security laws. And at the time when USDT reached an all-time high market cap, cap, its competitors such as Circle-issued USD coin and BUSD are struggling to maintain their market share. The second largest stablecoin, USDC's market cap currently sits at $28.8 billion, a difference of over $50 billion from USDT. So for context, at one point, USDC's market dominance was nearing that of USDT when its market cap reached an all-time high of $55.8 billion in June of 2022. The prolonged bear market of 2022 took its toll on both stablecoins, with declines in their market caps after the June 2022 highs. However, USDT managed to bounce back with the higher market dominance, while USDC's market cap has been almost cut in half, and I don't see that reversing anytime soon, just FYI. The prominent reason for the decline in the market share of other stablecoins can be attributed to regulatory scrutiny by the U.S. regulators and the U.S. banking crisis. After a ban on new minting of BUSD for security violations, its market cap dropped rapidly as users started to convert their BUSD to other stables such as USDT. And similarly, USDC, the major crisis came from Silicon Valley Bank's collapse when the stablecoin issuer held about $3.3 billion in reserves. This led to a market panic and a subsequent depegging from the US dollar. And although USDC regained its peg the next day, it took a significant toll on its market cap as more and more people lose trust in this stablecoin, with many users converting their USDC to other stables in fear of a total crash. That's right, you can't be too safe. What is your favorite stablecoin? Let me know in the comments below. And do you think Tether USDT will continue reaching new all-time highs as far as the market cap is declined and USDC Circle continue on the decline? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's discuss different exchanges opening up shop around the world because of the stupid, no clarity, Gary, and regulations coming from the SEC here in the United States. Let's first talk about crypto.com opening up shop in Singapore. That's right, they just recently got their license. Check it out. The Singapore-based crypto exchange Crypto.com announced June 1st it had been granted a major payment institution license for a digital payment token service by the Monetary Authority of Singapore. The announcement comes after Crypto.com received its in-principle approval from them in June of 2022 with the MPI license. Now, Crypto.com is now authorized to offer DPT services to customers specifically in Singapore. The Monetary Authority of Singapore serves as Singapore's central bank and primary financial regulatory authority. It's responsible for overseeing and implementing legislation related to money, banking, insurance, securities, and the overall financial industry, including the issuance of currency. This latest announcement adds to Crypto.com's track record of securing regulatory licenses. The exchange has also been granted registration as a digital asset service provider by the Autorité des Marchés Financiers in France and the crypto asset business by the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority. And furthermore, Crypto.com received approval for its minimal viable product preparatory license from the Dubai Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority and acquired Electronic Financial Transaction Act and Virtual Asset Provider registration in South Korea. Good Lord. The company also secured registration approval as a digital currency exchange provider and independent remittance dealer in Australia from the Australian Transaction Report and Analysis Centre, as well as the Australian Financial Services License and Australian Credit License from the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. Now, Crypto.com's regulatory achievements also extend to registration in Italy from their Organismo Agente, and in Greece from the Helsinki Capital Market Commission, and in Cyprus for the Securities and Exchange Commission. And in addition, the crypto exchange recently broadened its user base in the United States, allowing its users to utilize over 30 cryptos to make purchases across a selection of over 150 renowned customer brands through its app, which it released this feature just recently on May 31st, which was literally yesterday. So there you have it, mass adoption continuing overseas. Now let's discuss the latest coming from the Winklevoss twins and the Gemini crypto exchange. Starting with breaking news right here, the Prime Minister of Ireland, who you can see in this photo with the Gemini founders, just recently discussed the potential of Bitcoin and crypto. And off the back of that, now let's break down the Winklevoss-owned crypto exchange Gemini also announced it had begun the process of acquiring a crypto service license for the customers in the UAE. In a May 31st blog post yesterday, Gemini cited increased enthusiasm for cryptos among citizens and positive conversations with regulators for the UAE as a reason for pursuing the license. And additionally, Gemini co-founders Cameron and Tyler told Zawa that the moves were spurred on and after experiencing recent hostility and lack of clarity on crypto regulation in the United States. Exactly what I just pronounced. We have no clarity, Gary, providing no clear black and white distinction if, for example, is Ethereum a security or commodity. They don't want people to know because it creates fear and uncertainty in the market, allowing them to ultimately suppress the price action. Quoting Tyler here, "We have been super encouraged with our conversations here with the regulators," he said. "There is an effort to make the UAE a home and hub for crypto, and most importantly, to enact thoughtful regulation that connects and protects both consumers, but also a company's ability to innovate." Take that, no clarity, Gary. And at the time, the Winklevoss twins have not yet decided where to base operations for the exchange in the country, hinting that the new Gemini headquarters could be established in both Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Why not? And according to data from Gemini's Global State Crypto Report, more than 35% of those surveyed in the UAE had purchased crypto, compared to only 20% of that in the United States. So that's almost double the adoption in the UAE compared to the United States. And nearly 32% of non-owners in the UAE said they are likely to purchase crypto in the next year, and 33% of crypto holders in the UAE plan to make it in-person purchases at brick and mortar retailers, compared to just 19% of crypto owners globally. So there you have it. Mass adoption continues around the world. Shout out to the Gemini owners, the Winklevoss twins, as they are not being basically sabotaged by the USA. They're just going to continue to do their thing, and I think that is a great sign to help usher in mass adoption as the Bitcoin game theory continues in full effect. And now for the moment you have all been waiting for. Let's break down the latest coming from CZ and his $400,000 Bitcoin price prediction, and then we'll dive into some live Q&A. And yes, welcome to everyone in the live chat. Happy first of the month. Binance CEO CZ made a bold prediction after China's central television aired coverage of crypto, describing it as a big deal that could lead to a bull run in the market. Now, the coverage included an announcement from Hong Kong Securities Regulatory Commission stating a mandatory licensing system for virtual asset trading platforms will be implemented from June 1st, which is today. Now, Binance bracing for a bull run? That's right. The Binance CEO claimed that the news has generated significant buzz in the Chinese-speaking communities, with many speculating that the coverage could lead to increased adoption of cryptocurrencies and a surge in prices. This is not the first time that coverage of this kind has been linked to bull runs in the crypto market, according to CZ. Quoting him here on crypto Twitter, "CCTV just broadcasted crypto. It is a big deal. The Chinese-speaking communities are buzzing. Historically, coverages like these led to bull runs, not saying past predicts the future and not financial advice." Now, the announcement from the Hong Kong Securities Regulatory Commission is also significant, as it signals a move towards greater regulation of virtual asset trading platforms, which can help to improve the investor confidence in the sector and pave the way for wider adoption of cryptocurrencies. The move towards greater regulation in Hong Kong could also have implications for the wider crypto industry, with regulators around the world grappling with how to regulate cryptos. The Hong Kong Securities Regulatory Commission decision could provide a useful blueprint for other jurisdictions. And according to a Reuters report, Hong Kong securities regulator, the Securities and Futures Commission, announced that it will introduce a new licensing regime for digital asset companies from June 1st, which will include measures to protect retail investors. The move comes after a year of turmoil in the crypto sector, with the collapse of crypto exchange FTX last year being a significant blow. And under the new regime, all trading platforms and exchanges will be required to apply for a license, with fines and jail terms for those who fail to do so. The SFC had also proposed various investor protection measures, including setting an exposure limit for retail investors and only allowing retail trading in highly liquid tokens that have been issued for at least 1 year. And in addition, companies will be required to perform client checks to ensure that retail traders from China, where crypto trading is banned, are not accepted. The SFC also emphasized that operators have a responsibility to comply with the laws and regulations in the jurisdictions in which they continue their services. The new system will also cover the marketing of services from unlicensed platforms, with the SFC warning that it will, as an offense, issue advertisements related to the unlicensed platform. You also have Elizabeth Wong, the head of the SFC's fintech unit, stated this would cover social media influencers personally promoting services of unlicensed platforms to Hong Kong investors. Now, the International Organization of Securities Commission also recently unveiled the global approach to regulating crypto assets, highlighting the need for greater consumer protection. The collapse of FTX last year fueled concerns that consumers were not sufficiently protected, and new regulatory regulatory regime in Hong Kong seeks to address these concerns. And overall, despite the uncertainties with the current crypto market conditions, Binance CEO CZ's bullish outlook and the recent coverage of crypto by CCTV and the Hong Kong Securities Regulator Commission announced in a positive sign for the industry. And now for a throwback prediction coming from CZ back in 2001. He made a $400,000 Bitcoin price prediction, projecting that this was likely the next mark to hit. So let's go back here and check this out. So quoting him word for word right here, Bitcoin is probably going to do another 5 to 10x this year alone. And again, this is back in 2021 before we hit that all-time high. So lo and behold, we did break out. Did we hit 10x per se? No, but we did hit 69,000. So got to give credit where credit is due. He also goes on to share, I will put it somewhere around like $150,000 to $400,000-ish per Bitcoin in terms of the Bitcoin price, and the other crypto assets are probably going to rise more or less with BTC. So there you have it. And let's discuss this for a minute before we dive into our live Q&A. What are your thoughts, realistically, of Bitcoin hitting a $400,000 price target for this cycle? Now, yes, lo and behold, he was off on the timing as he was projecting $150,000 to $400,000 Bitcoin price back in 2021. But lo and behold, we still hit an all-time high of 69,000, not as high as he anticipated, but now deja vu, because now we're heading into 2024 next year with the halving only 11 months away. Do you think his projection of $150,000 to $400,000 Bitcoin price is realistic for this cycle, considering the halving is around the corner? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And for Bitcoin to realistically hit that 400,000 price target, that is roughly a 15x from today's price of 27,000. Let me know when and if you feel this will likely turn into fruition, and where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go for the peak cycle of this year. If it's not going to be 400,000, let me know in the comments right down below. With that being shared, fam, welcome to each and every one of you tuning in the live chat. I appreciate all of your support. As always, I'm going to be reading comments today from my phone because there's a glitch on my computer in which the comments are not appearing, but it's all good. Digital Dankness, good to see you, fam. Coinfather, Satwise Janks, Matthew J, Greedy Savvy 1, what's poppin', Bitcoin Trainee, Joey Ray in the building. Always a pleasure. Good to see the fam. We have Coinfather, what's poppin'? Tante, good to see you. ESP Academy, what is good? True HD, appreciate you supporting the channel and the movement as always. And if you're new to the show, make sure to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications so you're notified each and every day when I go live. I typically go live every day at 12 p.m. Eastern, but sometimes like today, I'm running a little late, so I went live at 1 p.m., hence the importance of turning on all the notifications so you don't miss out. Welcome Liverpool, welcome Tony, welcome Evan Rivero, LFC Liverpool Film Club, what's good? Digital Dankness says, okay, 15x from 28,000 is 420,000. That's right. Happy 420. I like them numbers, but I am still thinking conservatively. 150 to 200,000 this cycle, but giggity, 420. Let's go. Yeah, happy 420. Liverpool Film Club says Bitcoin and rollerblades age 63. That's me. Tony Jeffries from the pool, looking for other rollerblade or Bitcoiners to join the fun in the Liverpool sun. Hey, pretty interesting. I didn't know you were a rollerblader. Shout out to all the skaters out there. And if anyone wants to link up with Tony Jeffries out there in the UK in Liverpool, reach out to him in the chat and link up. I used to aggressively skate. Back in high school, I had a skate park in my neighborhood, but I don't live in Liverpool, says Dankness. Welcome, Matthew J. Pump it up. You already know. Don't you know? Pump it up. We got to pump it up. I mean, a great way to start June, back above 27,000, but I cannot wait until we're back above 30,000, and so we can hit 40,000 and see new yearly highs we haven't seen thus far in 2023. I am pumping this life raft up as much as I can, but the government poked holes in it. Gonna need the fam's help to defeat the 30,000 resistance. That's right, the final boss. We will win and succumb. I always saw him as the king at the round table, as we are all equal. But yes, in his podcast, so understand why you say that. Appreciate the kind words, fam. Always a pleasure. My friend converted his Bitcoin to Lido ETH the other day for yield. I've been praying every night for his soul since. Yeah, it's kind of scary when you see people take their precious Bitcoin, and if they don't know any better, especially newbies, and then they trade their Bitcoin for some form of Ishcoin or for some hope of some staking reward, but now they have to trust some third parties, they have to trust the exchanges, and there's so many things that could go wrong, which they would never fathom unless they lost their crypto from firsthand experience. I have lost crypto, so I understand how easy it is to make a wrong decision. The safest thing to do absolutely is Bitcoin. It's the fastest horse in the race. It's not going anywhere, and its purchasing power will continue to rise as the US dollar purchasing power continues to dwindle as they continue to print more and more money. And that, my friend, is a fact. So appreciate your prayers to your fam. Definitely more of a risk taking ETH than holding Bitcoin on a hardware wallet. That is right. So many things can go wrong, potentially. Not saying they're going to, but you have to put those risk factors in when you're making a move, because anything could happen. As they once said, expect the unexpected, especially in crypto in this market. 2 days till I hit level 41. That's what's up. Are you talking about your birthday? You're going to turn 41 years old? If so, happy birthday in advance, fam. I just turned 40 here recently. 41 laps around the sun, and level 41 sounds cooler than years old. Ah, I see the way you frame that. Very smart indeed. ESP Academy, welcome. What's poppin'? Good to see you. Tante says, who's thinking that all the analysis and then some? Yeah, I mean, so much analysis being shared on a daily basis as this market. There's a lot of, analysts. So there's always a lot to cover, which I appreciate. The more news, the better for me running a podcast every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, if you know what I mean. What's good? XRP is being brought up by the banking industry. Anyone else hear this? Yeah, I mean, XRP obviously is a part of the CBDC rollout. So it looks like a technology that's not going anywhere. It's a bridge currency. And because No Clarity Gary launched an unlawful lawsuit against XRP, the SEC versus XRP back in 2021. It makes me believe it's going to play a significant role. Otherwise, they wouldn't attack it. I feel all this stuff is planned. You know what I mean? There is no coincidence. This is just them doing business, and they don't want investors to purchase XRP for obvious reasons. XRP is not available in any USA exchange, so they don't want you holding it. That makes me believe that it has a strong future because regulators don't want plebs like you and I to be rich. They want you to be poor because you're more easier to control. You know what I mean? That's why they don't want, mass crypto adoption in the United States. That's why there's no spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States. You can thank the regulators, but other places around the world, they're not as controlling as in the United States, in my humble opinion. Satwise, good to see you. Bitcoin has multiple stablecoin assets on its layered solutions, including Stacks, RSK, and Liquid Network. Shout out to Block Stacks. I appreciate you bringing that up, Satwise. Matthew says it is being used to funnel money around, Dankness. They still have around 50% of their coins in lockup to dump on the market when the price goes up. But yeah, XRP is bankster fraud. World Economic Forum token. It is what it is. That's what I thought too, Matthew. They attacked it and banned it from being sold, yet the banking cartel doesn't have to follow that law. That's right. Called the double standard. What's going on? Satwise says, yep, XRP was always designed to be the bankster's crypto, so adoption may finally be happening. It is still an obvious security. So do you guys think that the SEC will deem it a security in the end? That's the million-dollar question, because if it's deemed a security, it's not a good look for XRP price action, and it's not a good look for other, potential securities in the market, such as Ethereum and the likes. There are so many out there. However, if it is deemed a bridge currency or something other than a security, such as a commodity, or maybe it's deemed both, then there's more flexibility. But I also heard that Brad Garlinghouse may have to pay up to $1 billion to the SEC just as a result of what is happening, with the lawsuit. So even if they win, you still lose if you got to pay $1 billion anywhere remotely close to that. But this is the mafia. This is the SEC in the United States. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Joey Ray was good. Let's get this crypto. You already know, fam. Technically yesterday, says Coin Father. I'll post it on Twitter in a little bit. Everything is cool. Hope you're good. That's what's up. Keep stacking them sats. ETH and Algo are the ones out of that list that I hold. But after hearing that, I'm going to sell out of the corrupt coins. Everything is an attack on Bitcoin and an extension of the current corrupt fractional reserve banking system. Staking is an extension. Very interesting thoughts there, Matthew. Good stuff. The only alt I continue to like is Matic, talking about Polygon. I may get some again when the alt season shows signs of life, says Statwise Jenks. That's right, it's a layer 2 scaling solution, which brings down the cost on the Ethereum blockchain, which we all know is outrageous. Makes it a lot faster. So it's kind of like equivalent to a Bitcoin Lightning Network, but for Ethereum. I ain't mad at anyone trading corrupt coins or stocks or whatever they got to do to pay the bills or upgrade their lifestyle, but I'm over 90% Bitcoin and I'm holding long. Love to hear that, Matthew. You already know what's good. Every long-term hodler of Bitcoin is in the green of 4 years or more. I think it's really 3.5 years or more, but hey, let's just say 4. I had been hearing that for years, though, says Greedy Savvy One. The Fed now was going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XLM, Matic, and now Fed now, CBDC. Fed now was never going to be Bitcoin. I think a lot of Bitcoin haters who were no coiners just said, Bitcoin is government controlled. It's the government. It's the CIA. Nah, I never believed that because Bitcoin is decentralized. It's the only one not controlled that can't be changed. It's incorruptible or uncorruptible, and it's unconfiscatable. And for that alone, it's anti-CBDC. You know what I mean? So it's not even a question. Guys, I've lost at least 5 Bitcoin trading against alts in the last 10 years. Litecoin, ETH, XRP, Matic, Link, Polkadot, and a few others. I learned the hard way not to bet against Bitcoin. I also learned the hard way, just got to throw it out there. It is what it is. I look at adoption for trading 1 to 10% of my bag, Solana, ETH, Polygon, and have most of my adoption and transactions, says Matthew. ESP says, let's go. CoinFather says yes, but extend it into the end of 2025. Talking about the price prediction between 200,000 and 500,000. Send it. Let's freaking go. I'd love to see that. I am very bullish. I think 2025, easy $200,000-$300,000 Bitcoin price action, and I'm sticking to it. Just saying. I do feel we hit 100,000 next year in 2024. I feel the same way, and I'm anticipating our $100,000 celebration party here in Puerto Rico as a result. So let's make it happen. Pray to Satoshi and to the crypto gods. After the cycle, you'll continue to see Bitcoin go up because regulation passed by the end of 2025. Many will have it added to 401k, so it's just going to keep going up. I agree with you as well. Matthew agrees with CoinFather. Hey, so the ledger is not good to use. I mean, take it for what it's worth. It's not that it's not good to use, but just recently the CEO came out and said that if the government requested your private keys and if you opted in to receive that service to protect your private keys where they shard it up into like 3 sets and send it to 3 third parties, they said if the government requests that info, they have to give it to the government. So with that being shared, it just means they're partners of the World Economic Forum and they can't be trusted. If you can't trust the government, that means you can't trust entities like Ledger who are controlled by the government at the end of the day. So it didn't make me feel good hearing that. And with so many other hardware wallet solutions available, such as the Trezor, why even mess with Ledger anymore? I hope no one gets their private keys shared with government entities. Obviously, you would lose all of your crypto. What's the sense of holding crypto if your private keys can possibly be shared with third parties? Does that make any sense? Makes sense to me. Hold your private keys yourself. Protect it and don't worry about, third parties stealing or regulators or governments for whatever reason. I mean, the government, for Christ's sake, confiscated all the gold back in 1933. They can steal your money right out of the bank. They do it in your deposit, what are those safety deposit boxes all the time. I saw this story a couple of months back in Italy where they were just confiscating everyone's wealth out of their safety deposit boxes because once you put it into the bank, it's no longer your property. Possession is 9/10 of the law. So whose money is it? You know what I mean? So protect your Bitcoin, and you can do so with many different devices out there. I would recommend a Trezor, but like I said, there's many solutions available nowadays. I wish I could have paid off the house and be living the high life right now. I live humbly for 4 more years off my Roth IRA to tap the retirement. Also lost 2 Bitcoin on an old, crypto or something. If we get regulation months before the bull run is over, then there is not going to be a big correction as the last cycle. I don't see the regulation coming anytime soon. I think probably late 2024 or 2025 when they could no longer suppress it. That's when we get the spot Bitcoin ETF. And I think that's what brings in the mass institutional adoption with trillions currently sitting in the sidelines. That's going to usher Bitcoin to multiple 6 figures. I promise. Once that happens. So when will the spot Bitcoin ETF finally come into fruition in the United States is the $1 million question. I'll be watching like a hawk. We'll be covering that here in the show. XRP will be a security, says the CoinFather. Yes, it'll be a security and used to usher in CBDCs, in my humble opinion. Blockstream Jade, Cold Card, or Trezor Bitcoin only. Great recommendations. Thank you, Matthew. I respectfully disagree. I think it will be a currency, referring to XRP. If you use the Trezor, do not use it for alts anymore. What's the reason for that? I always preferred the Trezor specifically for Bitcoin, and I would always use the Ledger for altcoins, but now I don't even feel secure using Ledger for alts. So what's your top recommendation personally to store your altcoins? Let me know. And why should you not store altcoins on a Trezor? Because I haven't heard this before. Let me know in the comments. Do you still hold alts, Coinfather? Matthew asks, if so, what hardware wallet do you use for alts? Bitcoin only, says Coinfather. Smart. Alts are made to swing trade for me to buy more Bitcoin. Same here, says Matthew. I have the Elipal for my cold storage. No Trezor for me. That's the cool looking one I keep seeing. I messed up and bought into some of those alts, but hey, you live, you learn, right? Yeah, you got to learn the hard way sometimes. If you never touch the hot fire on the stove, you never know the consequence of being burnt. You know what I mean? If you never fall off the bike, you never respect, the pump, I'll call it here in Bitcoin, but you never respect the ride. Once you fall off, you change things up. You have a little respect. Things change. And sometimes it takes a full cycle for people to see reality for what it is. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to be burned to learn. Burn to learn, burn to earn. It is what it is. I flip for lifestyle upgrades, vacations, or paying extra on the house. Word up. After next U.S. regime, good time to learn. We still early, 24 Q4. Oh, that's right. The fourth quarter of 2024, need better. We're going to hit an all-time high. Hope that's what you're saying there. Bitcoin, that is. Word up. Bitcoin to the moon, fam. You already know. And I appreciate everyone supporting the show. Let me know if you're new here to the channel and your thoughts. I always appreciate constructive criticism and feedback. And if there are any things that I can do better to improve the daily performance here, maybe a specific thing I should be sharing or something I'm doing wrong in your humble opinion, do let me know. I also welcome critiques, of course. And with that being shared, fam, now for a recap of what I covered here in today's show. And it's getting hot. I'm sweating like a mofo, like a pig in this piece. But anyways, I shared the latest technical analysis. We discussed, is this the last Bitcoin price dip before a 30,000 and above breakout? We also discussed Bitcoin mining difficulty exceeds 50 trillion for the first time in Bitcoin history. We also discussed Tether USDT market cap breaking the all-time high as the Binance CEO points at regulatory caps. We also discussed crypto.com joins the ranks of licensed payment institutions in Singapore, now with their license is official. We also discussed Winklevoss twins created an exchange, crypto exchange to seek UAE crypto license. I mean, we're talking about the Gemini exchange itself. We also discussed that the Prime Minister of Ireland just met up with the Winklevoss twins as well to discuss the potential of Bitcoin and crypto. Can we see some Ireland Bitcoin adoption incoming? Let's go. We also discussed our breaking story of the day, Binance CEO predicting a bull run as China CCTV broadcasts crypto coverage. And we also covered CZ's $400,000 Bitcoin price prediction, which is ultimately a 15x from here. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next?